Hey guys, this is Julio Rodriguez for Card Player TV, and I'm joined here in the Bahamas by Shaun Deeb. Shaun, you finished in the top 10 of our Online Player of the Year race for the second year in a row. You're the only player who did that. Talk about the volume you put in on a day-to-day basis.
Basically, I play everything from the 3 rebuy to the 100 rebuy 1Ks. I just love tournaments, and I love playing full schedule.
What's your average day look like? Are you up at the crack of dawn, sit in front of the computer with a cup of coffee, and then just grinding until midnight?
Oddly enough, I'm like the least scheduled person there is. Whenever I wake up, I look to see if I wake up for like 1:32, I'll play the early 100 rebuy on stars, the full tilt 150. But if I wake up 3-4, I might wait till the 6-7 p.m. to start registering.
I want to talk about leading the TLB. You were invited 2 years in a row to compete in the World Cup of Poker to represent the United States, and hopefully you'll be invited a third time. But can you tell us a little bit about how that process works and what your place on the team was like?
Well, it's a very interesting process. I mean, PokerStars does its best to include everybody in the world who wants to get involved. I mean, each team is composed of 2 TLB qualifiers from their geographic location, as well as people who play in through free rolls. And then all those teams compete with each other in their different continental regions. Like Europe has their own separate groups that play each other, Eastern and Western Europe, and then there's everybody else. And there's US and Canada get 2 guaranteed teams, but they have the state qualifiers and stuff. So, and once a team gets formed with the 2 TLB and the 2 free roll guys, team captain, who's usually a full PokerStars pro, joins the team.
Okay, and your captain this year was?
Greg Raymer.
Now, I know Daniel Negreanu was the team captain of Team Canada. Are those 2 captains pretty much set in stone?
No, they're actually, well, for Canada, the only other option really is Steve J-Pa. But with Raymer, there's obviously lots and lots of American Stars pros. But Raymer actually told me yesterday, when he heard that they were doing World Cup again, he immediately emailed and offered himself, said, I would love to do it. We're returning champs. It was a lot of fun, a great experience. I would love to be a representative of Stars again next year.
Yeah, you won the heads-up match yesterday, or last year for your squad, right?
Yeah, I ended up playing the finals and actually knocked out all 3 other competitors pretty quickly. It was a lot of fun.
So what was so different about last year and this year?
Well, last year was only 8 teams. There was a different qualifying rounds that actually were playing. You kind of knew what you needed point-wise to be in the top 4 to get to the final, and it only mattered to be in the top 4. So some teams didn't care, and there were prizes for finishing first, second, third in your individual heat. But this year they did it was only done in 1 day as opposed to 4 last year. So we had all our qualifiers, and based on your finish there were 9 countries this year. Based on your finish in the prelim, or whatever qualifiers you want to call it, you got X amount of chips to bring into play for the final table. And luckily we played very well in our prelims and were able to get second in chips going to the final table due to a very, very close tiebreaker with Mexico.
And what did that result in for you guys?
We ended up starting with 45,000 chips. The chip leader had 50,000, and Team Canada, who was in 9th place, had 25,000. Okay,
can you take us through that tournament and tell us how you finished up?
It's the tournament. The final is a tag team format. There was a very, very deep structure with a lot of chips in play, obviously. Started with 25-50 and all the standard jumps pretty much, with antes coming in later. And every 30 minutes, you had a tag team, and you had a rotation of your team, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, who came in with what blind levels. And so when the first guy came in, he had only 1/5 of your chip stack. And if he got knocked out, second place guy would come in with just 1/5 of the chip stack. But if your person survived the level, then the second person comes and adds to the chip stack. So therefore, everyone gets a guaranteed chance to play.
And who finishes up? How do you guys determine who plays towards the end? Is it pretty much standard that Greg would take the spot?
Oh, no, you have to keep your standard rotation. But we were given 2 substitutions to use at any time. Once you use those, you were done. So we ended up having a time where we had a stack size around 25 big blinds. Stack size I'm very familiar with, obviously, with all my volume. So Greg said, here you go, Shaun, your chance to get us some chips. So I ended up going in and getting lucky one hand versus Great Britain, and that gave us a chip lead. And then we went back to our regular rotation. Then Greg came in, then I came in. That's when we ended up getting knocked out.
You knocked out Team USA?
I was in when we got knocked out. In my defense,
well, it's okay. You won it last year for them, and you lost it this year for them. It's a full circle.
I would have felt, I would agree with you if I lost when I got it in bad versus Great Britain, but
okay.
I got it in. I made a standard call, blind versus blind, when the small blind shoved 10 big blinds, four-handed. He was a good player. I knew he was an online guy. Knew he was shoving almost any two cards. I had queen jack, high card value, has enough equity versus range. I called, and it was pretty unlucky that he had kings. And then the same guy later shoved the small blind for 18 big blinds, and I called with nines, and he had king six off, and he flopped two pair. And then I shoved nines under the gun with 11 and a half big blinds. He snap called ace eight, totally fine call, but he flopped trip eights. So, I mean, he played well, I played well. It's just when you get in ahead, there's nothing you can do.
Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about the online community in general. You seem to be kind of the honorary policeman for some of the misbehaving players, I should say.
Yeah, you know what, I care about, it's a job for me, I enjoy it. I care about the reputation of online poker. I know if it's ever going to become regulated and legal, it needs to be clean. You can't have cheating, you can't have people breaking the terms of service, you can't have people just being selfish and taking advantage of situations just for their own personal profit.
Okay, okay, combining that with your presence on Team USA, it's almost as if you're an ambassador for online poker. Do you see yourself in that light? How do you see yourself in this community?
In the live room, I'm not as much of an ambassador as some of the pros because I don't get the exposure as everyone else. But obviously, anytime I was given an opportunity to speak about poker, explain it to anyone, I try to, because I think it's a great fun activity. It makes a great job, gives you a lot of freedom, and it's a very unique opportunity to do things that I would never be able to do at my age or most ages, basically.
So it's safe to say you see yourself being a poker player for quite some time?
I see myself not being a full-time professional, but honestly, why would I not take vacation to the Bahamas, play a 10K, maybe make a final table? If not, I sit out on the beach and have fun all day.
All right. Well, thank you, Shaun Deeb, for joining us, and thank you guys for watching Card Player TV's Online Zone.